Yo, 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 what's up? Welcome to Buttered Popcorn. Today we are reviewing the film Companion.
There have been two moments in my life when I was happiest. The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris. And the second, the day I killed him.
Companion is a sci-fi thriller mystery, anti-rom-com. So this film is about Iris, who's played by Sophie Thatcher, and her boyfriend Josh, played by Jack Quaid. They go on this beautiful weekend getaway, estate trip, like deep in the forest. And it's owned by Josh's friend's boyfriend, Sergey, who's this like creepy Russian mobster type guy who has his eyes on Iris. And things go horribly wrong when Iris is unintentionally left alone with Sergey. So I intentionally did not tell you the full synopsis because it's way better if you go in not knowing anything. I, for some reason, didn't watch the trailer, and my buddy did, and honestly, he had this huge spoiler. It didn't ruin it for him, but it definitely took a little bit out of it. So if you haven't seen the trailer, please do not watch the trailer. Don't read anything about it. Don't even look at the log line on IMDb because it will spoil something for you. I went in knowing nothing, and honestly, I think I was way better for that. So first off, drop a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So this film is a sci-fi thriller mystery, kind of anti-rom-com. It takes what a rom-com is and totally bashes itself in the head with it. So I want to start off with Sophie Thatcher, who I just saw in Heretic. She's got that thing, that talent and that spark that so many actors dream of, but they can't get. It's something that I believe is just in you. It's that one thing. It's that spark. It's being, I don't know, fully present when you're on screen, when you're acting. And I believe that Sophie Thatcher has that. I think she's going to get a lot of roles based off this performance and the Heretic performance. She just has this emotional depth, and it's seen just through her face, through her twitches, through her little looks, through this like darkness that's buried beneath her smile. I really, really believe that she's going to be the next big thing. So obviously I thought her performance was amazing in this film. I think the whole cast is top tier. Lucas Gage, Harvey Guillen, who's hilarious in the show What We Do in the Shadows. He adds this funny kind of sweet layer to the film. Rupert Friend, who plays Sergey, this like animalistic mobster type playboy dude who's really kind of scary, not in like this Jason Voorhees type murderer scary, but like someone you do not want to spend more than 1 minute in a room with, let alone a whole weekend. He kind of feels like that dude who you're just never sure if this guy is gonna stab you or like pat you on the back. Person who's unstable. Jack Quaid, who was kind of another pleasant, not surprise. I mean, I've seen him in The Boys and I think he's good in that. His character Josh and Sophie's character Iris, they're the couple. They're like the main characters. And we see them in the grocery store in some fumbly, bumbly, cute connection meeting. And we see them grow as a couple, and then we throw them into this weird, mysterious, and insane setting that was kind of a shock to me. And we really let them loose. And Jack Quaid, I don't know, he provides this like funny, chill, relatable type character. Not a loser, but he's just struggling with dating, he's struggling with working, struggling with being an adult. One thing that I really love about this film is it takes the romantic comedy genre, the poppy bubblegum affair that Hollywood loves to spew it out, and completely destroys it and bashes it across the head. It was really smart in implementing this boy meets girl cute story that we're all a bit sick of right now. Not that I don't like rom-coms. I mean, I've seen a ton of them and I like some of them, and I have some that I don't even want to tell you about that I like. It's just a refreshing take on the genre, the rom-com genre, the horror genre, the sci-fi, the thriller, the mystery, and it has this originality that is injected into it. You know, one big thing that me and my buddy who I went to watch the film with talked about after was that it shares some very similar connections and influences to a pretty big sci-fi film that was probably released in the last decade or so. That's a masterpiece. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to tell you what that is because it might ruin the plot of the film for you. But I definitely could see that. I definitely realized, wow, this film actually has a lot in common with that film. The film is written and directed by Drew Hancock, who admittedly I know almost nothing about, except that he's been kind of a TV director, writer. But I thought he showed some steady and competent direction. There was a couple beautiful shots of landscapes and of a lake that I really liked, but nothing that I was blown away by, nothing that particularly stood out. I think the direction in terms of camera was decent and like not passable, better than passable, but it was okay. But what impressed me about his direction is actually the work and the feeling and the portrayals that he got out from his actors. The acting really stood out to me. Just really great performances by most of the cast. And I will say most because I think that Megan Suri, who played Kat, Josh's longtime friend, and the girlfriend of Sergey, who's the mobster guy, was not on the level of everybody else. Her performance just kind of felt a bit muted, a bit, I don't know, there was some spark missing. I mean, crazy shit is going on around you. It's insane circumstances, and I didn't feel her emotions or the things that she was reacting to just did not come out. I don't think she was horrible by any means, but I think she just didn't fit in an otherwise great cast. Really shown for me about this film is the script, which Drew also wrote. It was kind of charming, relevant, insane, freaky, mysterious, pretty damn funny. I mean, it's not that I don't laugh a lot in films, it's that a lot of films aren't that funny these days. But me and my buddy were laughing our heads off in the theaters, and the theater was, a lot of people were laughing, and you don't get that a lot. I think nowadays it's hard to find a lot of people laughing in theaters. I don't know why, but people are just more serious, or films just aren't as funny. But it also had a surprising amount of heart in the film, and I think this film really needed it because it does get brutal, it does get crazy, it gets gross, it gets insane, it gets violent, and to not have heart would just make it kind of irrelevant. I think it also has a lot of depth to it. I think it's very relevant in the time we're living in the future. And it gave me pause to think about what's going to happen in our future with technology. This is the type of film that kind of made me think about it after and to realize, are we headed down this path? And it also is a film that makes you look at your life and examine your life and examine your relationships and your, love interests and your romantic connections and greed and being selfish. I mean, it's a film that takes like a pretty brutal and jarring look at how we always look at ourselves as superheroes. We always look at ourselves as the good guys, even when we're doing horrible things, when we're greedy, when we're only self-serving, and everybody around us is just serving, is like a little, prepackaged thing to serve our goals. And I really think they hit on that. And I don't know, the film was also just funny, dude. Like, I just laughed. There was funny ass flashbacks and things that made me feel like I was watching a early 2000s Seth Rogen film that just made me laugh my ass off. Overall, I had a really great time seeing this in theaters. I recommend to go see it in theaters. It's a relevant story that takes the rom-com and throws in sci-fi and has this hellish brutality and darkness, but it mixes in some real heart, some real thought, some real depth. And, in my opinion, it's not a masterpiece, but I had such a great time seeing it in theaters. So I definitely recommend to go see it in theaters. I think this is the type of film where it makes me be like, oh, who's Drew Hancock? I want to watch out for him. He's a ones to watch now. And so I really enjoyed it. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. And yeah, go watch it. really great. Anyways, that's my review for Companion. Again, drop a like, hit that subscribe if you really liked it. Let me know what you thought about the film. Did I overrate it, or do you like it? Do you think it's better than what I thought, or what would you give it out of 5? Anyways, thank you. Peace.